Hello there. What is going on, everyone? We are taking a look at the latest from LV-427. This is more than just a terrain piece. This is an entire battlefield expansion. This is inside, outside, upside, and down. It's not living La Vida Loca, but you might be if you're putting all of this together. We've got exterior walls, interiors, fully designed and sculpted interiors, rooftops that are fully removable. This is amazing for any of your Star Wars games, whether it's a Star Wars Legion or not a Star Wars game. You could do this with RPGs. You could do this with Star Trek. This would make an incredible facility outside for an away team. You could do this with Cyberpunk. This could be like an Arasaka or Militech factory. You could do this with Halo. As a matter of fact, you could do this with just about any game. We're going to show you how it works, how you can work on this. Big thanks to LV-427 for sending this out. Let's go ahead and jump right in. All right, so just to showcase this a little bit, I'm going to be using some Star Wars Legion miniatures, and I also want to give a big shout out to Gary over at Miniature Adventures, who printed all of this out and has an amazing channel with lots of really close-up and detailed examples and different ways to use different LV-427 terrain. So definitely check him out. I'm going to have a link in the video description below where you can go over there and subscribe to their channel if you want to see even more than I'm showing you here. So if you like what you see, you want to dig a little bit deeper, that's another place where you can go and check some of this out. So I have talked about this terrain before. This is really incredible stuff. There's going to be doors that can be opened and closed. And it works perfectly for RPGs, a lot of board games and tabletop miniatures games. You can go, if you're doing interior battles, you can go inside and work out. Maybe an action opens a door, maybe it doesn't. Works amazing for your role-playing games. This is actually really cool for any type of narrative adventure or campaign setting too, because you can have somebody set it up and have certain features hidden. Like I just had these B2 Super Battle Droids hidden inside here, and the rooftops really help that out. Another thing that's really cool is you have these wall pieces. You always had sort of the, this sort of square design on the sides for the exterior, but now you have these separate exterior pieces, and these are very much configurable and customizable. There's a ton of extra pieces that you can put onto these, and you can make them bulky or narrow. You can put the little capacitor panels on there. You can put wheels and all kinds of stuff. This is really, really good for your RPG designs, but you can do so much. And there's larger pieces. Again, they can offer cover as well. You can do a whole lot of that, and we can pick these up and take them off as we go in. And again, this is a fully modular system. You can design these however you want. Another thing that's amazing about these, you might see some of these little circles here. Now, these are perfect for magnetization. If you're going to magnetize these, there's also these end cap pieces here that can go on to there and then lock that in and give you your corner pieces, and that will connect to the next one in the set, and so on and so forth. It's very, very cool that you can do all of that. However, if you are going to magnetize, I definitely suggest getting a magic marker and marking the polarity, because anybody who's done magnetization knows that, one way they go in and then they connect to the other ones, but if you flip it the other one the wrong way, it'll push it away. And you want to make sure that you're having these guys magnetized properly, so you don't try to connect this and it find out after it's all dried that it's now pushing a couple of your pieces away. So if you're going to magnetize, definitely check out some tutorials on that as well. I have done it with limited success. I've had some successes and some failures. So I've learned a lot of lessons, and one of those lessons is to keep a magic marker nearby and mark the same side of all your magnets so you know which one is the positive and which one is the negative. Let's go ahead and look at some of these pieces with a little bit more detail. So I want to showcase some more of these pieces because some of these are cool, and I haven't looked at every single one of these before. So we've got this really awesome weapons locker in here, which you can see. I'm going to try to zoom in a little bit more there. Boom, we've got a really nice selection of weapons in the armory. And you can also put a second door in there. There's all kinds of extra door pieces as well that you can put in there. There's lots of extra additional pieces that you can outfit these differently. We have the central corridor right here. This one is perfect for just being your overall connector to make any building look the way you want. So over here on the outside, we have the barracks. And before I pull up the barracks, because it's actually got some really cool features, I want to talk about some of the different types of wall panels we have. I've already kind of talked a little bit about these with the sliding sectors, and they're magnetization ready. So you can magnetize those if you want. Again, you don't have to, because they hold up just fine. But some people really like that little, you know, that it doesn't actually make that sound. It's more of a flip. No, it's more of a zoop. I think, let me know in the comments if you think it's more of a zoop or more of a flip. Plus, we do have that $25 Amazon gift card giveaway that's running right now. You just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos. It's as simple as that. We also have these wider exterior ones, and these don't have the slide-in panels as much, but they're a lot beefier and a lot more like heavily armored. So this is good to go like maybe on the outside of your armory or things like that, which is exactly where I have it. And we have and you can mix and match and do all kinds of cool stuff with this one. We have a barracks here, which has got lots of bunks, so you can have like about 8 troops hanging out in here. But what's really cool about this is these can come out. This is reconfigurable. You can put just one in there. You can put none in there. If you want more room to actually have people hang out in there, if you want to put some chairs and other pieces in there, or other scatter terrain that you have, or just have an entire battalion of B-1 battle droids waiting behind a locked door, which would then go in here and be ready to open up once somebody opens them from that side. So again, you can do so much with these, and the 4-way corridors really facilitate that. And we've got even more right here. And there's different rooftops for different types. So this is a 3-way corridor. And again, this one is kind of sealed on this side and has 3 open hallways there. So again, the roofs do match the pieces. There's roofs for the different configurations. And this is our 3-way corridor, which has some power like I guess power couplings kind of going in there, some different controls, as well as like maybe a little grating where your little mouse droid sneaks through, and then some barrels and some different kind of things to give this so much feel. This is also works, of course, well for your Alien games if you're into those. And we have all these different rooms here. I want to show you all of the different rooms that were sent over and how beautiful they are. So we've got a comm room here with all kinds of computer racks and maybe some spare parts canisters or shelving right there. We've got a desk here, so maybe your officer in charge is kind of working out of there, or maybe just your comm team is hanging out in here. We have this room right here, which you can kind of shooting oxygen. Maybe this is for decontamination. Maybe this room is for doing some you know, I don't know, maybe keeping the bugs out. And then over here we have a medical room, which is pretty cool. We got a nice little bed there with a data pad, and or maybe it's a Steam Deck. Maybe they're doing all of that stuff. But this is a really clean print job too. So thanks, Gary, for doing an amazing job printing these out. Very cool stuff. So this is awesome. These all look really great. We have a couple of extra spare pieces that were sent as well. We have a reactor here, which is a good end piece. This could make for a great goal in your role-playing games. It could also make a great objective piece if you're doing a custom mission for Legion or something like that, for an interiors battle. But that's a pretty cool looking turbine right there. And then we have a modified entrance or exit. You can, again, do all kinds of different things with these. But this one has a lot of debris, so this one makes for an excellent entrance to, hey, we don't know if this place is in decent shape. There's also different sorts of doors that can go in here like this. And you're like, wait a second, what is that? Have there been some aliens in here? What ate through that? Is there rat tars in there? Or what? And then, of course, they open it up and see all of this. I'm like, oh, something came through here. Something dangerous. And if you want to put the roofs back on, it's as simple as sort of just kind of setting them there and going. There are also these little grooves. So if you wanted to like lock these in and make them a little bit more fixed, like especially if you have a specific go-to thing, you can put a piece in there and lock those in, and maybe even some glue and make them a little bit more permanent if you want. You can kind of do whatever you want, and so you can just set them on here. I think actually this one goes there. That's the 3-way. We're going to put some of our end caps around, and this is our 4-way right there. And these are just really cool. And there's also a lot of raised parts on here, so this is going to make it really easy to paint, I think, if you want, because even with, if you just prime it and hit an airbrush from an angle, it's going to instantly give you tons of definition. So this design, while being futuristic by nature, is also really user-friendly for painting. It gives you good texture, but it can give you great contrast if you want to make them like some of these like ladder sort of design patterns, or these like train track kind of patterns, if you want to make them in a very different color. So if you're going with like gray and you want to do like bright orange for those or something like that. But also at the same time, it works perfect to have minis on top. So you can have people, again, you don't even have to use the interior for this. You can have your, Mandalorians jumping around on top. You can have all sorts of different things. You can have certain parts exposed, certain people fighting on top. Another thing that's really cool is if you have a rooftop battle, and then you also need to take a turn on the inside, you can take these off gently, of course, and then do your whole movement inside, and then put this back on, and your guys are going to be exactly where they were, which is a very cool feature. I don't expect to do that a whole lot because it makes me a little nervous, but again, it gives you the option. You can absolutely do that, which is very cool. You can even use some of these panels to have adjoining buildings that don't even connect to anything else, just kind of set up some standalone buildings. Really, you can make a lot of creative decisions with it. There's really no limit. I think the only limit is your own creativity. So it's very cool. I think I've been asking for something like this for a long time, so it's really nice to see them show up. But I love the wall pieces. You can do so much with them, and I think this is just really cool stuff here. I actually probably could have done that the other way around. So you can do it, yeah, you can go up and down too. That fits a little bit easier too. I think that's probably how it was intended. But you know what? Your imagination is the only thing that really dictates what's intended. So yeah, you can do so much with these. Very cool stuff. Again, huge thanks to LV-427 for making this happen. Also, Gary, thank you for getting these prints. Check out his channel. I'm going to put a link to it in the video description below. And also, you can check out, there's an LV-427 Facebook group that has lots of other people sharing their creations. I would love to see what you guys put together with some of this stuff as well. And I've got plenty more videos on. I'm going to link them over here and at the end of the video if you want to check out some of my other LV-427 reviews, and especially see some of this stuff all painted up. That's going to do it for today's video. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Also, big thanks to my patrons. You guys are out of this world and help make this whole channel possible. I will talk to you later. May the force be with you. Live long and prosper. Be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes. So say we all, and always wash your socks.